So let's talk now to people who are serving food with a difference. And I'd like to call up our next panel. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to throw a caveat out here. I'm going to let everyone in the audience know that you are chefs. So I'm not going to preface your name with chef for each and every one. Everyone's a chef, guys, so be nice. I'd like to call... Anyone have a problem with that? No? Good. I'd like to call up Harpal Singh Sokhi, Altmarsh Patel from TajSATS, Jerson Fernandez, Executive Chef at Sea Princess, Vivek Kadam, Executive Pastry Chef at Grand Hyatt, Nitin Puri, Executive Chef Unilever, Tushar Malkani, Culinary Director, Supreme Hospitality, and Manisha Bhasin, Chef at the ITC Moria. And to lead the conversation, I'm going to call up Varun Imamdar, who is, as you all know, a celebrity chef and a master chocolatier.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Varun Imamdar, and I work a lot in the space of YouTube and things like that. Work as a chocolatier, work as a food stylist on a lot of international projects. I've just come back from Guatemala, where we recently hosted India's first food festival, which was a sellout for 21 days, which is a country that quite does not know where India is, because the moment the food went out and the guests started eating, the first guest comes to me and says, wow, African food is fantastic. And I actually had to go on the internet and tell them that Africa is different and India is different. So that's a little about me. In the last 17 years, ended up serving everyone, right from Barack Obama to Nicolas Sarkozy, Vladimir Putin, the Bachchans, Khans, Kapoors, you name them all, and they've eaten it all. We have someone else who's also served world dignitaries, and that is Chef Manisha, who is, of course, a veteran in her space, and she's been with the ITC as a family. We have Chef Harpal here with us, and if I say who does not, who knows him, I think even the empty chairs are going to raise their hands and say, "Hum bhi pehchante hai." You know, so that's Chef Harpal. We have Chef Nitin Puri, who's again been with Hindustan Unilever, and what we are going to talk about today is how we can possibly serve food with a difference. And of course, it's a complete, huge paradigm when you talk about serving food with a difference, because food being served with a difference is all that we understand today and all that we know today. Coming to you, Chef Harpal, to begin with, I would like to understand and see why this is an interesting panel today, and we also have another few chefs joining us, is because we have someone who is working with the hotels. We have someone who is into the freelancing space, is also into restaurants, and is also into his own space of being an entrepreneur. We have Chef Nitin, who works with a corporate house. So here we have three different capacities. And beginning with Chef Harpal, I would want to know from you, Chef, what is your idea of difference? What are the synonyms that come to your mind, or what to you is the meaning of the word difference? Of course, in the space of food.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. That's a difficult question, actually. It looks very simple, and simplicity actually is the most difficult thing to follow in the country, and all across the world, I would say. Anything that is simple is generally rejected outright because we believe that we need, and in hotels, as we grew up, as the food space also grew up, I remember when we were in hotels, complexity was the first thing that we had in our mind as chefs. So the moment I moved out of five-star hotels and started doing entrepreneurship, right from small QSRs to fine dining restaurants, I realized that QSRs, simplicity matters, 5 years back. But even that has changed now. I believe the first thing that you see when a plate comes to you is, you don't look at what's happening in the plate. The moment you see a plate, you take out your camera and you start clicking pictures. So, to me, I believe that it is moved from Indian, regional, international, it has moved to Instagram food. So for me, anything that looks good, is first on an Instagram and becomes an Instagram food. Then it gets the definition of Indian, South Indian, regional, international. So scenarios have been changing over a period of time that I have seen now, because I manage hotels, I manage restaurants also, and we manage small restaurants also. Even in small restaurants, people look forward to, especially the new age millennials, when you are catering to somebody who's from 15 years to 25 years for a new brand that we just launched. We realize that the moment they hold that little cone of fries topped with some poutine in the form of poutines, they first take out the camera and start clicking pictures. And after that, they start eating, And even small restaurants are now going forward to it. But of course, the baseline still remains clear that anything that is tasty sells first before even anything else. Before anything else, actually. If it is not tasty, it doesn't sell well.
I think that's brilliant, Chef, because, like you rightly said, in the age of the internet today and the fast growing internet,
Yep.
we've always been in the age of
Yep.
the internet. But the way it is moving today, it's really scary, if I may put that
It is.
as a word.
It is indeed. For chefs like all of us, especially who have created. I remember when I was the exec chef for Regent, which is now Taj Lands End. I remember having created way back. This is a story way back 1998 when I created Rasmalai Tiramisu. I was called by the guest. First, the guest ordered thinking that it is exciting and interesting. Then when it went to him, then he called me, "Hello, chef, come here." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Where is the Rasmalai?" I said, "It's inside the tiramisu." So I said, "But I ordered a Rasmalai."
Wow.
So for us, we are at the both ends of receiving, actually.
Very true.
Sometimes a guest actually goes through a turmoil at times when he reads the menu and he says, "Okay, this looks exciting," but when he gets it, if he cannot figure out in his mind, the moment you order a food, you have pre-decided in your mind a picture of what you're going to get.
I completely
and if
agree.
that does not relate to what is there in the plate,
True.
then there is training by the service staff,
True.
and then
And
after
this is the time when the service staff actually backs out and says, "Chef, आपको बुलाया."
Yes,
Because they don't want to face it.
very
"आपने
true.
बनाया ना, आप जाओ."
Very true, very true. So I remember in that period, 1998, so I did a lot of these experiments when people were scared of experiments, and I got some good acceptances also, and I still remember blueberry kulfi and ginger orange kulfi at that point of time. They were well accepted, but Rasmalai Tiramisu, but now I see
True,
in this
very
age
true.
that yes, it is there. There people would have expected that, okay, there would have been a tiramisu flavor in the regular Rasmalai, and that is what they would have got. But they would have never thought that they actually are getting something like what looks like a tiramisu.
In
So-
fact, Chef, I'll just cut you there. In fact, just a few days back, someone asked me what's going to be trending in 2018. And I just jocularly, I told it's going to be charcoal rasgulla. And believe me or not, it's actually become a quote
Yes.
in one of the most popular magazines. That,
No, but-
charcoal rasgulla is going to really trend in 2018.
Absolutely.
So it's like
Last 5 days back, I think on Facebook it's trending. There's a restaurant in Calcutta which sells 200 varieties of rasgulla.
Absolutely.
And I see that he's selling pani puri rasgullas also.
very nice. Kya baat hai?
So,
Chef, you actually touched on a very sensitive subject, which spoke about millennials.
Yeah.
And here we have Chef Manisha, who would actually want to elaborate or talk a little about how, we can create food that can really make a difference to the millennials. If, you can just elaborate on that. What do you as a brand ambassador of your hotel chain think about when it comes to serving something for the millennials?
See, I'm audible? Yeah,
Yes,
I think
you are.
so, yeah. See, with ITC, the responsible luxury is one of the big mantras that we follow. So we are trying to bring forward the forgotten cuisines, the lost recipes, but also we at the same time understand that it's very important to make it more attractive or make it more exciting for the younger generation, the millennials who are now the future guests for us at the same time. And also we need to encourage the local farmers, the local produce. So all this kind of comes under the umbrella of responsible luxury, where we bring forward the forgotten millets, the local food. The world today is running towards India, looking at India
Very
actually
true,
for
absolutely.
healthy food. So we being in India and being an Indian chain is very important for us to bring these forward in our menus, and that's what we started doing and making it more exciting.
True.
India has an answer to quinoa, where you spend your own foreign exchange to import it.
True.
We use what is locally grown, like amaranth seed and stuff like
True.
that. Ragi, where gluten intolerance is happening. Most of the American people have this gluten intolerance.
True, very true.
There is the answer within India itself before we also become
Absolutely.
gluten
And,
intolerant.
Chef,
So
I'll just add something to that. In fact, when you suddenly ask someone out of the blue, where are kiwis from? The first answer is New Zealand. And we do not even give that a thought, because that is nothing but the marketing gimmickry. Kiwis grow ample even in our country. You go all across the northeast,
True.
you find kiwi farms. And this is something that, we as chefs, I think, I would use the word lack in promoting Indian food, because I think we are too brand driven.
the younger generation, I see they are much more proud of their Indian heritage.
True.
Today, we are not shy of creating a beautiful plate like a tiramisu,
Yeah.
rasmalai, or
Yeah.
something like that, which perhaps 20 years ago we would have been little awkward presenting
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Today, we are very, very proud. We are India proud, and even Make in India campaign. All this kind of comes together, and as a chef, I think it's our responsibility to showcase our produce to the world, and also it has health benefits at the same time.
Absolutely. And I think cooking with responsibility is one of the primary agendas of
Yeah.
Hindustan Unilever as a company. And I think it'll be best if Chef Nitin maybe talks about that.
Well, when we talk about Unilever, we are a global brand. And across the world, we have been doing a lot of products which comes for a Unilever food solution portfolio. So when we talk about food solutions, the first agenda, which is now the core of Unilever motto, is that we are a responsible company. We talk about sustainability of the environment, where we want to create a difference. Now, what is sustainability is all about is that if you see the global parameters, the kind of resources we have been extracting is almost 1.5 times of what Earth is able to generate. So we are creating an imbalance in the ecosystem. We are creating a lot of food wastages, which is, I think, a big time agenda for UN to take care of. That's where the Unilever can make a difference, and Unilever has been making difference from so long that we have been creating solutions for the chefs, which can be used reasonably well across the domain they have. And like I said, in one of the events, I met a couple of chefs. They said that with your solutions, our infrastructure has improved, our wastages have gone down, and now we have time to be more creative, because we are moving out of the basic solutions, and we can think about the number of things we can create out of it. And by the Unilever motto is, by 2020, we will be getting into 100% sustainable resources supplier, where we want to give back to the environment what we are taking it from it, so that our future generations can also enjoy or
Fantastic.
can have the gift of food which we've been having. I still remember 20 years ago, my dad used to tell me, I used to run away from eating fruits, and he used to say that you need to enjoy it. When you'll grow up, you will regret that you didn't enjoy it in your childhood, because it is now available, it will go out of the sight. So now, and it is evident. Now you see the prices have stocked up like anything, and even after that, you're buying it with a lot of understanding and a lot of restraint. It was not that 20 years ago, it was freely available. Other than that, the other aspect which I saw recently in the news is a town like Cape Town would be running out of water in the next 3 years, which is very, very scary. How we can create a difference to give back to the ecosystem, so that the nature, the gift of the nature, the food, should be maintained and should be able to sustain it for our future generations.
True.